My beloved child, it is time I told you this. The hour is no longer long, and the door I set in place is narrowing with every heartbeat of humankind. Tonight is not for you to hunt one more miracle, but to recognize the miracle already waiting in the awakening of your own soul. If you miss this moment, it is not I who shuts the door. It is you who turns away before the light can reach the darkness within. A miracle is not bait for the hungry ambition of success, but the sigh of God over souls that only know how to bargain. When faith is fashioned into a tool of exchange, when the altar becomes a trading floor and prayer is reduced to a temporary contract, then even if a wonder appears, it dissolves into a mirage. I do not ordain miracles to intoxicate you with them, but to awaken in you a thirst for me, the one who stands above every overnight breakthrough the world advertises. Dear child, I know you have longed to see something extraordinary, a visible proof for your faith. But faith was not born to indulge curiosity. It does not grow beneath stage lights, but in the darkness of nights when you pray in secret and no one knows. When I answer slowly, it is not indifference. It is my way of teaching you to discern between what you want and what your soul truly needs. Miracles do not arrive to display your strength, but to reveal my mercy. The world is clothing its earthly dreams in sacred robes. They proclaim that belief alone secures a breakthrough, that blessings will fall in geometric measure, if only you give enough, do enough, believe enough. But child, if blessing can be bought, then grace has been turned into merchandise. And if faith is a formula to purchase a result, it ceases to be trust and becomes calculation. I do not promise you the treasures of earth. I promise you myself, the treasure that does not end. There are nights when you sit in silence and ask, "Why do I pray?" and heaven remains still. Yet in that stillness, I am testing whether you will keep seeking me when miracles do not appear. That is where true faith begins to breathe, not with a shout, but with the quiet warmth of fidelity. And if you will sit and listen, you will discover that what I seek in you is not a dazzling wonder, but a heart that can trust even when it cannot see. I know there are days you come to me, not with faith, but with expectations of reward. You pray not to listen, but to demand. You sow with the hope of reaping, not out of thanksgiving. In such moments your faith is as fragile as smoke, for if I granted every request, you would have no need of me, and if I kept silent, you would suspect I was gone. Child faith was not given to barter for benefits. It was given to teach you to stand when there is nothing left to hold. When every sign and wonder seems to close, that is often when I begin my deepest work in you. I see your eyes when your petitions go unanswered, sadness mingled with bewilderment. You suppose I have forgotten, or that I am testing you past your strength. In truth, I am removing what you think is good to return to you what you truly need. Genuine faith cannot sprout from easy marvels. If faith can be computed, it is nothing more than an equation, and I am no problem for you to solve. I am a father, not a blessing dispenser. Only when you stop chasing outcomes will you truly begin to seek me. Some have taught you, believe enough, do enough, and you will receive enough. But child, that is a human promise, not the promise of God. Faith is not a trade between offerings and rewards. It is a journey of companionship with me, even when every prayer seems to echo in silence. Know this: my silence is not refusal, it is an invitation to go deeper, to shift your question from when to who must I become. As your faith grows less demanding, you will hear me whisper in your heart a peace no condition can purchase. You have asked, why do I not grant miracles to those who believe the strongest? Faith is not measured by volume of shout, but by the endurance of loyalty. I do not ask you to prove how much you believe. I ask you to keep believing when everything seems to fall apart. If your faith can live only in fair weather, how will it withstand the storm? Let faith become your breath, not your tool. Then you will understand believing is not the manipulation of outcomes, but the surrender of all things to me, even when nothing remains to grasp. And when you cease searching for a key to receive and desire only to draw near to me, you will see the truest miracle awaken within peace in the gale joy, in the lack light, in the long night. This is the miracle prosperity theology can never comprehend, for it does not arise from a formula but from surrender. When you learn to love me without a reason, your faith has touched the very substance of grace. Yet, child, the journey does not end there. When faith is no longer a transaction, you will slowly perceive another truth, that true blessing never equates to possession. Wherever you still measure your worth by what you hold in your hands, there your faith remains imprisoned in the cage of self-interest. There are times you think blessing means a full purse, a broad house, smooth work, and the applause of others. But I tell you, not every comfort springs from blessing, and not every lack is a sign of wrath. My blessing is not measured by your balance sheet, but by the depth of peace within you when everything around you shakes. I have given wealth, and I have taken it away to see whether hearts would still love me with empty hands. You may be rich and yet poor, and you may be poor and yet sufficient if your heart finds its rest in me. I know the world exalts abundance, teaching you that to have more is to be blessed. But true blessing does not parade. It hides in small things: a simple meal with peace, a brief sleep without fear, a quiet conscience after an honest day. These are riches no one can steal. Money can steady you for a moment, but only integrity grants you lasting peace. When blessing is converted into mere material measure, you lose the capacity to notice my presence within the simplest gifts. Some will ask me, why then do the wicked prosper? Child, their gold glitters and quickly fades, but my blessing shines within and endures across a life. They build high with hollow foundations. They laugh loud with crumbling interiors. I do not weigh your prosperity by outer garments, but by the strength you carry through trial. The one who keeps a clean heart amid temptation, who shares while lacking, who offers thanks with tears, that is the truly wealthy one before me. I have seen you collapse when something precious was taken, imagining I stripped away your blessing. Yet often I take so you may be light, so your hands are free to grasp what matters most me. I do not will you to live in misery. I will you not to be bound by your possessions. When you treat wealth as a servant, you are free. When you treat it as a master, you become a slave. My blessing does not bind you. It loosens every cord tightening around your soul. And when you know where true blessing lies, you will no longer chase spiritual, get-rich schemes, nor rush toward promises of overnight breakthroughs. You will learn to discern that every miracle I grant is ordered toward salvation, not toward feeding curiosity or inflating illusions of your own power. Then you will step into a deeper knowing, no longer asking, where are the miracles, but whispering, teach me to recognize the Father's will. Beloved child, perhaps you have heard many say, just believe, do it the right way, and the miracle will happen. But faith is not a mathematical formula that compels me to act. If faith were a sequence of steps to obtain a result, you would turn me into a subject of ritual control. Faith does not live in command phrases. It lives in the relationship of father and child, a bond woven from trust, honesty, and love. When you pray merely to get things done, disappointment grows. When you pray to draw near to me, disappointment shrinks to its proper size. Some treat faith like a key that opens every door, forgetting that only the doors the Father opens lead to life. You may plead, cry out, and recite hundreds of verses, yet if your heart is not seeking me, myself, all of it, is but an echo in an empty chamber. True faith does not make you a manager of miracles. It makes you a child who entrusts. You believe not to verify, but to unite. Where love outgrows ambition and faith joins hands with humility, there I am, quiet, yet unmistakably present. I see many of my children restless for speed. They want prayers to work instantly visible results as proof that I am real. But relationship cannot mature in haste, and love does not blossom through calculation. Faith is a cord braided from time trial and perseverance. That is why I let you pass through long nights of silence, so you may learn to trust even when you hear nothing. In that very silence, I am teaching you the language of communion, a tongue only steadfast hearts can understand. Remember, faith is not a drug that rescues every circumstance, but the strength that holds you upright in the storm. When you love me truly, you will not ask, "Why are you silent?" but you will whisper, "I still trust, though you have not yet replied." I prize that trust above 1,000 cries for faith does not prove that I exist. It proves that your heart still turns toward me, though it sees nothing. And as you keep believing in the fog, that faith becomes a light for others lost in the night. And when you have learned to believe like this, to believe with love, not by command, you will find a faith no longer swayed by sensational scripts or fevered promises. You will cease to chase noisy wonders and refuse to be swept away by surging emotions. For mature spirit is not agitated by spectacle. It knows how to grow quiet to discern my voice from the noise of the world. There are waves that roar and make you think they are the breath of the Spirit, yet they are only the clamor of feeling. In these days, people prefer explosions to peace, radiant marvels to hidden grace. They want experiences rather than abiding, to feel God rather than live with God. But child spiritual maturity is not measured by the force of emotion, but by the endurance of silence. When your heart is still, I can speak. When you stop chasing the strange and the sensational, you will hear my whisper calling you in the ordinary. I have let many young souls be drawn into that whirl, only so they might learn that feelings cannot sustain faith. The thrill of yesterday's gathering cannot feed your soul today. Faith does not live on stimulation, but on steadfastness. Those who take sensation as the measure of the Spirit soon burn out, for feelings change by the day while truth stands firm forever. Do not let sacred gimmicks mislead your heart. A blaze that flares for a moment will fade, but a small lamp keeps its flame through the long night, the light of one who truly believes. I see many of you chasing events, waiting for fire to fall, longing to touch power, and yet forgetting that I am present in the kitchen, in your work, in every breath. My child, I do not hide in the blare of music, but dwell where your heart knows how to be still. When you chase sacred sensations, you will grow weary, for emotion cannot nourish the soul. But when you stand still, I will complete the rest. Let your heart become solid ground, not a stage where feelings take the throne. A mature faith has no need to prove it is on fire, for the true flame requires no applause. The more you grow, the less you speak, the less you perform, and the deeper you become in every gesture of trust. I do not seek cheers. I seek quiet hearts that remain faithful in a headwind. These are the souls who are living witnesses, not dazzling yet compelling the world to pause and listen. Do not fear being small, for where quiet reigns, there I work with greatest strength. And when you learn the art of stillness, you will understand that the true calling of a believer is not found in noisy moments, but in each small task done with fidelity. Then you will see more clearly those who are faithful in secret are the true witnesses in the world. No titles needed, no praise required, only a persevering heart. And I will turn that very life into a proclamation hushed, yet echoing to the ends of the earth. Child, the world loves echoes. People applaud those who shine and forget those who labor in silence. But I do not count upraised hands. I look at the hands that quietly do good, seen by no one. Do not be afraid when no one notices your small work, for I see every drop of sweat from the Father who keeps his integrity amid deceitful markets, every moment of endurance from the mother who prays for her family in stillness, every steadfast heart, though no one praises it. Such souls lacking glamour move heaven itself to bow and behold. You may think that being faithful in secret is wasteful, meaningless. Yet, child, no seed will sprout unless it consents to be buried. In the same way, no witness matures without the solitude of trust. Hiddenness is not weakness. It is where the soul learns to love without demand, to serve without name. I do not need you to be spectacular. I need you to be faithful. For the true light does not blaze from a stage, but from a heart that burns itself to illumine others. When you persist in doing good, though no one records it, you share in my mission, the one who lived 30 years in obscurity before proclaiming the message. The world seldom understands the value of the hidden, yet the kingdom is built from the very small deeds no one retells. A silent forgiveness, a shared meal, a smile on a weary day, all these preach more vividly than any sermon from a high pulpit. You become a miracle not by great deeds, but by choosing to love amidst the ordinary. I know there are moments when you are discouraged, seeing no great change wrought by your hands. But child, your perseverance is quietly pushing back the dark. At times I do not ask you to go far, I ask you to stand firm. Each small act of fidelity is a brick in a work of grace whose whole design you cannot yet see. When you choose honesty over ease, prayer over complaint, love over resentment, you are letting me live in you, and that is enough to change a portion of the world around you. The day will come when I show you that no good is wasted, no tear falls without meaning. Everything you do in secret, I keep like fragrant offering. The faithful need not be known, for their perseverance is the loveliest homily. Do not seek miracles out there for you. Yourself, faithful in small duties, steadfast in prayer, straight of heart, have become the miracle I send to the world. And as you live this way without a word, the whole world will still recognize me in you. This moment is not a fragile sliver of time. It is a milestone carved into the firmament, like a hidden covenant, where your identity shines as a radiant seal. If your eyes could pierce the mist of hesitation to glimpse the promised ground beyond your yes, your heart would blaze like a fire that needs no hand to kindle it. If your ears could catch the clatter of chains cracking as you open, you would not slip past like a passerby. You would cry out in the depths of your soul, I choose to believe. No, you are not weak, as the whispering doubts suggest in the night. You are the one called by name among 1,000 faces, the one stepping in rhythm with heaven's timetable, neither a beat too soon nor a second too late. The favors I send are not merely to mend the rips in your house, but to irrigate the land that belongs to your children's children like an underground river running through drought still full. I am splicing back together channels presumed alone with sacred chords, arranging meetings that seem accidental, yet were entrusted long ago to my hand. You need only walk. The road already opens ahead. So now be still like a sailor resting his oars to listen for the wind. Let the clamor fall away, that your heart may hear the fine yet resolute call sounding within. I seldom ask for a visible sign, yet this moment is so holy that I invite you to answer with a small gesture, a simple act sincerely done. Not for display, not to please any algorithm of the age, but to lay a hand lightly on your chest and say to heaven and to yourself, I stand with the light. Obedience is the key that opens the door fear has long kept locked, and the adversary who trembles before the courage of faith has tried every way to shatter your resolve. He sows fatigue in the morning and scatters confusion at night, looses arrows of delay. Yet he has failed, for you are still here, not quitting, not collapsing, still attentive, still expectant. The lamp I set within you cannot be snuffed by the winds of disappointment, because it does not borrow fire from men. It quickens from the warmth of my will. That very light makes it hard for others to turn away. That very pull unsettles even the wealthy, those who seem to lack nothing when they think of you, for they sense in you a gravity not of this earth. They are not persuaded by polished slogans, but drawn to a rare depth, integrity without fracture, steadiness without noise, gentleness without frailty. Do not be surprised if doors long shut swing open, if a casual greeting becomes the bridge to a great appointment. This is not luck, but the lines already inscribed on the quiet map I keep in the palm of my hand. You may think you are choosing only a small step, yet the heavens see a change in orbit. You may think you are whispering a simple yes, yet the angels hear the trumpet for battle. Let your faith cease to be a lovely idea and become embodied practice. Speak a kind word where others criticize. Forgive when misunderstood. Complete a small task, unseen. Offer a portion of what you hold dear. Each such gesture is your signature on a new covenant, confirming that you stand with the good, even without applause. Then you will discover that bonds once unbreakable grow light. Fears once fierce fade to distant noise. Cares once heavy as stone drift like leaves upon a stream. For when you consent, the waters long dammed find their course again, and joy, long buried, breaks the soil like a green shoot. I have sent into your life people who will encourage you when you flag, warn you when you veer, lend you their eyes when yours grow tired. They may arrive in the guise of a quiet teacher, a sparing friend, a child with an unexpected question, or a stranger on the road with an uncaused smile. Do not disdain any of them, for I often use common earthen jars to carry costly incense. I am also arranging work suited to the qualities you forged in silence. Rough ideas will find your hands to be refined. Unfinished projects will be completed by your perseverance. Fallow fields will enter sowing season under your faithful steps. And as you work, work as one who offers, not one who competes. Place your heart in every detail, for I am present in details tenderly kept. Do not fear missing your train. Every train under my command arrives on time for the one whose ticket bears the name obedience. Your hour is now, not yesterday where regrets reside, not tomorrow where fantasies beckon. This very present, with trembling hands and wet eyes, is the fertile ground for the miraculous seed. Lay down the burden of self-justification, for you are not chosen to be a noisy copy. You were chosen to be yourself at your brightest, where humility and courage walk side by side. Trust that the resources you need will appear in season. Sometimes a job door, sometimes a word of counsel, sometimes a quiet stretch for rest. Each arrives at perfect ripeness. Trust that what you sow does not vanish into the void. It falls into the soil of generations yet unborn. And one day children will harvest fruit from trees you planted without knowing your name. That is the privilege of forerunners. And do not be surprised if the wealthy continue to think of you. They are not enticed by what you possess, but drawn by the silent frequency of heaven that emanates from your life, a frequency that cannot be purchased, only received when one says yes to one's call. When they come, keep a tender heart and a wakeful mind, grateful without fawning, generous without being laxwise, without scheming. Let your presence bring peace to the shared space, like a soft fragrance that chases the must out of a room. And when fear rises, remember, fear is only a shadow thrown large upon the wall. It holds no keys and opens no doors. Only faith can do that. Your faith need not be loud. It needs to endure. You do not have to strain to prove anything. You only have to repeat day by day the small, faithful steps. Then you will be startled when you look back. You have gone farther than any grim calculation. You have stood firm through storms that looked certain to break you. You have kept your gentleness in a world quick to harden. Then you will understand why I call you chosen, not because you never faltered, but because you never cut the cord of hope, because you did not let the harsh wind snuff the lamp within. As you continue, you will see the creases in your life story begin to smooth. The scattered pieces find each other. The promises I whispered in the night start to take shape in daylight. You will watch chance appointments open into new pathways, an email sent to the wrong person landing in the right hands, an irksome delay, sparing you from harm, a rescheduled meeting, placing you in the right room at the right hour, with the rumen, right inspiration. That is how I write, not with chalk upon a blackboard, but with invisible ink traced across the orbits of a life. So carry in your chest a steady vow. You will listen before you speak, love before you judge, act before confusion has time to bloom. Remember that the power at work in you is not for display but for service, not to make you the eye of the storm but to make you a harbor. Tend the soil of your soul with gentle discipline. Sleep enough, study deeply. Work with sleeves, rolled pray with knees to the floor, open your windows to the morning light. These seemingly ordinary things are the tether that keeps your hot air balloon of ideals from drifting into the sky of self-satisfaction. And in all things do not forget to smile. The smile of one who knows they are kept carries power to cleanse the air wherever you stand. Tonight, when your head finds the pillow, let your heart breathe a new yes light as air deep as the ocean. Tomorrow, when you rise, let your first step be a builder's step. Set one more brick in the bridge that spans the present to the future. The day after tomorrow, when uncertainty comes again, remember, the enemy lost the moment you kept standing here, still listening, still believing, still doing what is right. The light within you will keep drawing others, even those whose coffers are full but who carry an emptiness at the core because they can hear heaven's heartbeat in the cadence of your life. And you, the one called by your true name, the one arriving in your appointed hour, the one who does not fall behind, let your life become the unmistakable answer to that call. Serene yet radiant, humble yet formidable, quiet yet impossible to overlook. For the moment etched in heaven does not wait on the hesitant. It opens for those who dare to live as though the calling is real. You are that one. Go on. What you once thought was a passing idea, a spark that flashed and faded in the stream of your mind, is in truth a sign I sent to wake the sleeping faith within you. The video you almost scrolled past was not an accident. The dream you saw weeks ago was not merely the product of your subconscious. Each was a note in the symphony I am composing for your life alone. Now I no longer whisper. I speak plainly, strongly echoing through heaven and earth. To affirm this, you are no longer where you were. You are stepping into a new season where light replaces shadow life, displaces withering, and glory touches your heart. You will rise from places where others thought you were buried. You will flourish not by luck but by the grace I set upon you before you even knew your own name. You will overflow with life, with joy, with courage, and with blessings you never dared to imagine. I see the pressures you bear, the quiet beads of sweat fallen in the night when none were watching. I know the smile that hides a heart that has trembled many times, and how your faith can feel like a flickering wick in a storm. But listen closely, child. Your faith is not in vain. Your obedience is not forgotten. Every tear you have shed I have recorded, and every time you chose to keep believing rather than give up was a step closer to the promise I have appointed. Now your season of waiting is ripening into a season of victory. All those days that seemed uneventful were the foundation I laid so the coming glory would not cause you to collapse. I am sending my spirit through every corridor of your life, into work, into finances, into relationships, even into the places where you once fell. My breath is moving upon every locked door, making rusted hinges groan and swing wide. The paths once blocked by fear, by rejection, by the words impossible, are being stretched open to their edges. I am giving you new eyes to see what you never dared to look upon before. I grant you a vision that rises above circumstance so you can know each failure is only a chapter in a triumphant journey. Where you were overlooked, I am casting light so you are chosen. Where you were excluded, I am preparing you to be honored. No one can steal what I have decreed for you, for all my plans are sealed with my own faithfulness. This is your resurrection hour, the hour when the same Spirit who raised Jesus from the tomb is stirring your circumstances, lifting you from the ashes and breathing into you the life of a new beginning. The idea you hid away fearing it was too far-fetched is being awakened. It will live, not by your wisdom alone, but by a vitality from heaven. Projects, delayed dreams you thought had died, each is being called forth to step into its appointed time. The debts that cost you sleep, the pressures that sparked your fear, I am dissolving them. You will see miracles not only in material provision, but in a deep and guarded peace of soul peace no one can take away. The dream you judged too large has never been too large for me, for I am the one who planted that seed within you. If it outstrips your ability, it is because I want you to lean on me and watch the extraordinary be done through your hands. The millionaire who has noticed you is not a coincidence. They do not come to unsettle you, but to open a path I have already arranged. They carry keys, not keys of metal, but keys of opportunity, of destiny, of doors I have promised belong to you. You have been faithful in the days no one saw, steadfast when every argument urged you to doubt, and for this very reason I am opening those doors now. Do not look at present facts and conclude that I am silent. I have never ceased to work. When you thought I was absent, I was arranging every piece. When you thought all was collapsing, I was clearing ground for the new. My silence is not indifference. It is the stillness before the great movement. I am redrawing the map of your life in the hues of hope, reinscribing your name upon the board of honor, reweaving each frayed thread of your soul with the gold of grace. Lift up your head, you who endured the night. Dawn is coming, and its first light already kisses your heels. Those who mocked and turned away will witness how I restore you, not that you might take revenge, but that they might see my grace surpasses every human verdict. You will not need to fight, for I am fighting for you. You will not need to prove yourself, for the fruit I bear in your life will speak more loudly than words. Ready your heart, for I am leading you into a great harvest. The seeds you sowed in tears will bloom into songs. The parched fields of the old year will blaze with the gold of the new. I give you not merely a chance, but a life reborn. Every step you take, I go with you. Every dream you dare believe, I strengthen. Every prayer you feared fell flat is now being answered in ways beyond your imagining. You thought yourself a grain of sand, but in my hand you are a pearl polished by the years. Now that pearl is being lifted and set in its rightful place. None of your wounds were wasted. They are the markings of the road proof that you have been refined. From sorrow you will learn true strength, from loss gratitude, and from loneliness the certainty that I have never left you for even a moment. Open your heart and let me enter to make all things new. Let my spirit touch even the rooms you once bolted shut, that I may heal to the very depths. For you are not called merely to survive, you are called to live abundantly, to overflow, to become a witness to everyday miracles. The old day has closed. A new chapter opens, bright, promising, brimming with life. This is not only the start of a new journey, it is the unveiling of the new person within you, the one I have seen since the dawn of creation, the one I am naming in this very moment. Walk on, for the promised land lies before you, and I, the one who never breaks a promise, am leading you into my season of glory. Your name is sounding in places your feet have never trod, like a holy fragrance borne on the wind, woven into the conversations of souls who are waiting for the miracle you have been fashioned to answer. Your grace, the light forged through trial and tears, is being spoken of among praying hands and hearts, attuned to the wondrous working of God in your life. All that is unfolding, though you have not yet seen, it belongs to the symphony He Himself has composed, each note tinted with faith, with hope, with undying love. It is no accident that today you stand here at the crossroads of destiny and vision. There were moments when the winds of life seemed ready to strip away everything, your dreams, your trust, your joy. But in that very storm, the unseen hand of the Creator has been setting you back into the place appointed from the Raphat. Beginning. He sees not only what you see, but also what you scarcely dare to say, the weariness, the hollowness, the longing to touch the true meaning of life. And now he answers by letting you know you are not alone on this road. The Holy Spirit is cloaking you in a mantle of peace, whispering into your soul words only you can hear. Do not be afraid, I am still here. When you cannot see the way forward, He Himself opens a path through the dark. When you cannot take a step, He lifts you on the wings of hope. Angels have been sent not to warn you of the storm, but to keep you in the very heart of it. They are unseen friends, standing guard at the thresholds of your days, where you come and go, where you breathe, where you fall and rise. This protection is not merely a promise. It is a sacred reality wrapping round you like a stream of light. And when heaven's provision pursues you, it bears not only material gifts but letters of grace, reminders that you are loved, chosen, and called to a mission greater than anything you have ever dreamed. The enemy thought you had vanished into the ashes of shattered dreams, but they do not know that those very ashes are flaring into a fire of rebirth. Every wound, every stumble, every loss that once drew your tears is becoming the foundation for the great work God is building. You are rising not by your own strength, but by power poured down from the highest heavens. Your understanding is no longer something learned from ordinary experience, but wisdom kindled by the Spirit. Your longing for Him burns like a desert's thirst for rain, and He promises to satisfy it with His own living stream. No pain that has tormented you will be wasted. It will be transfigured into purpose, a purpose that makes every scar holy, every tear a seed for a radiant harvest. And the old sorrow is being changed into the song of joy, echoing like a dawn chorus after a long night of darkness. Believe this, no tear you shed goes uncounted by heaven. No sigh escapes His hearing. Each tear has been kept not to memorialize pain, but to be turned into pearls for the garden of your soul. They have sown seeds of faith, and today those seeds are in bloom. This is the harvest, the season, when all your toil, your waiting, your sacrifices ripen into sweetness. Do not rush past this hour. Do not let your heart drift by without recognizing the wonder unfurling before you. Pause, breathe deeply, and know that everything He does bears meaning. You have waited long enough, endured enough to forsake it at the final moment. Now is not the time to retreat, but to stand firm, to look back on the path and see how all of it has prepared you for this instant, the instant you step into the true calling of your life. This is your hour, the decisive moment, for which everything before was only a prologue. It is not merely a new beginning. It is proof that God remains faithful to His word. What He promised, though you thought it forgotten, now rises like a hidden spring breaking from parched earth. You are living proof that grace is stronger than failure, that faith conquers fear. His voice does not echo like a distant call. It brushes your soul like a gentle wind, rekindling the trust you thought had cooled. I am who I am, He says, the unchanging one who walked with Abraham through the wilderness, who held Isaac's hand in trial, and who wrestled beside Jacob in the night. I am the God of promises, kept of doors flung open in stone, walls of miracles born from the impossible. When famine comes, I am the source of supply. When the sea closes the way, I cleave it by my power. When hearts run dry, I pour down bread from heaven, so you may know that no circumstance outruns the bounds of my love. And today none of this has changed. He is still that one yesterday, today, and forever. If you have ever doubted your worth, remember, He chose you not because you are perfect, but because He sees in you a flame the world cannot extinguish. You were not made merely to exist, but to shine. Every step, however small, is accounted for on the sacred map He has drawn for you. You are walking the road. He has cleared sometimes stony, sometimes skirting chasms, but each bend and scrape is leading you to the summit of your vocation. Do not let slander slow your stride. Do not let the fear within make you forget the call from heaven. The world may not understand the path you travel, but God does. He knows every quickened breath, every silent midnight prayer. And He says, "Go on, for I am with you." You may not see the results yet, but the seed is sown, and time will show you how abundant the harvest will be. You need search for no sign, for you yourself are the sign of a promise fulfilled. And as you walk in the new light, remember to keep your heart tender, that grace may flow through you to touch others. Do not live only for what you receive. Live to become a blessing. For it is precisely when you give that you receive, when you bow low that you are lifted high. This is the paradox of heaven, that in weakness strength is revealed, and in loss blessing is born. Let your life become a testimony that God is still at work in this restless world. Let those who see you recognize this truth, that nothing is meaningless when offered to Him. For within each tear and each smile, within every moment that seems ordinary, He is weaving a great story, a story of love, of faith, of a life transfigured. And you, yes, you are the new chapter in that epic, the chapter of restoration, the chapter of triumph, the chapter of glory. Now, walk on with steadfast faith that He is still doing wonders. Open your heart to receive all that heaven has ordained. For when God speaks, nothing can hinder. When He has chosen you, no power can shake you. This is the moment you blaze forth the hour in which He shows the world His power through your very life. And when that light shines out, it not only illumines your own path, but kindles the souls wandering around you. Stand firm, believe, and know that your story is not over. It has only just begun in the splendor of the One who never changes. I know that after all those nights when you knelt in silence, tears mingling with prayers too deep for words, you are beginning to feel the warmth of a new dawn. They have seen it, the light within you undimmed, though darkness once swallowed every hope. That very light startles them, for it is no easy flame to keep after tempests. It is a fire tempered by suffering, steadfast among ashes. They have not come to judge you or demand proof. They come bearing favor like a gentle, holy rain upon dry ground, to restore, to heal, to loose your soul from the invisible chains life has wrapped around it. This grace comes not by merit nor even by petition, but by the immeasurable mercy of God. He has chosen this hour to pour out what only He can give, a change, wrought not by effort but by the miracle of His kindness. You need not beg nor strive to prove your worth, for I have seen you in the furnace, and now the pure gold within you will shine of itself. What once was pain I now employ as purpose. If you truly believe, let your mouth confess, Jesus Christ is Lord. When you say it, heaven and earth bear witness, and that confession becomes the seal that opens the floodgates of grace. The archangel Michael has wept for you, for he has beheld what no one else knows, the hidden plots, the words laced with poison, the whispered conversations where your name was mocked and twisted. But I have heard, I have known, and I have left them no power over your life. I have bound the tongues of the wicked, so their curses fall back upon the soil from which they rose. Every venom-tipped arrow launched against you I have caught mid-air and dissolved before it could touch your heart. From now on, every harm is reversed, every wound made whole. You are no longer a solitary fighter on the spiritual field. You stand under the holy protection of the angels. They are moving through every room of your home places, steeped in sighs corners that once saw your hands tremble in despair. They are cleansing every trace of sorrow, filling the air with peace like a gentle fragrance. Hallways, nooks, and the spots where you once wept alone now grow radiant and clear as morning. There, where chaos once reigned, my favor now ascends the throne. No more the clamor of fear, only the soft resonance of peace. If you open your heart this very moment, receive that light, and comment 555, it is the sign that you welcome the angels into your life, that they may spread their wings over you, and the peace of God become a wall around you. You have walked with a cautious heart, heavy of step, afraid that if you hoped once more you would break again. I understand, for you have believed many times and been disappointed many times. But now I do not bring a fleeting comfort. I bring glory, favor arranged in the sacred order of heaven. When it comes, you will have no words except these: only God could have done this. For what is about to happen in your life will surpass every plan and calculation of man. It is not merely an outward change, but a resurrection reaching the depths of your soul. I will show you a new kind of wealth, not measured by silver, gold, or renown, but by the depth of meaning. You will see blessings soak into every region of your life. In the family, harmony will return. In health, new energy will be awakened. In relationships, love will replace misunderstanding. In the mind, clarity will disperse the long-gathered fog. And in the heart, joy and peace will become a steady pulse. None of this arrives by luck or by chance, but is sent from heaven, a gift inscribed in your destiny from the beginning. I know you once asked, "Why must I endure so much?" And now I answer, because only strong souls are chosen to become witnesses of grace. Your suffering is not meaningless. It is the mold that forges faith. Every crack in your heart is a place where light can enter. And now when you think you are spent, that is precisely when I begin to act. I do not come in thunder, nor appear through noisy wonders, but quietly, like a seed sprouting beneath the soil, small, silent, yet rising, with a strength no one can deny. When you look back, you will understand that every loss carried a message. Every wound led you closer to the spring of compassion. I did not let you collapse when you could have. I kept you through days that seemed to have no exit, so that now, as the season of grace arrives, you are mature enough to receive without losing yourself. Look, you are not who you once were. In my light, you have been reborn. The angels are smiling to see you begin to believe that you are worthy of what is good. That belief is the key that opens the door to every miracle. From now on, you will no longer fear love, no longer fear failure, for you have come to understand that everything that happens, whether painful or sweet, rests within my arranging hand. When you entrust all to me and the burden falls from your shoulders, you will taste true freedom. I want you to remember, grace does not come to avenge the past, but to transform the present. Forgive those who harmed you, for in forgiveness you set yourself free. Love again, though the heart bears scars, for love is the greatest expression of the light I have placed within you. And walk on, not as one who merely survived, but as one who is chosen. Every step you take will carry the imprint of light, and those who doubted will bow before the wonder I accomplish through you. Now, as you read these words, your soul is being clothed in the garment of peace. Every tremor of your heart is heard by me. If you whisper amen, it will be the affirmation that you are ready to enter a new chapter of this sacred journey, a chapter of revival, of purpose, of glory. And as you live wholly within that faith, the world around you will mirror your light. I do not promise you will have no more trials, but I guarantee that each trial will become proof of the strength you carry within. When others look at you, they will see my kindness. And in the very story of your life, the lost will find their faith again. For your light will not only save you, it will guide many souls who are feeling their way through the dark. Receive this without fear. Open your hands and let the winds of favor pass through. Let peace fill every breath. You no longer fight alone. Heaven stands with you, and the universe is being arranged to restore what was lost. This is the hour in which you are redefined, not as one who was wounded, but as one entrusted with light to heal yourself and others. As you step out of the shadows, I see in your eyes not only tears, but fire. That fire does not die, for it is the fire of faith, of grace, of undying love. And I say to you, go, for the world is waiting for the light within you. And now, as the wheel of destiny begins to turn, you will recognize that nothing in your life has been random. Every event, every tear, every time you fell to your knees has been woven into my wondrous symphony. That person of great means, the soul whose name I softly whispered as yours in the stillness of night, is being stirred. An indescribable compassion is rising in their heart, not by their own will, but by my hand moving within them. They cannot explain why their heart leans toward you, but I know because I have engraved your name upon their heart. They are preparing, pondering, seeking a way to come to you, not with pity, but with reverence for the grace I have placed within you. They are coming not to dispense charity, but to fulfill a sacred mission. Every gift they bring, every word they speak, every look brimming with goodwill, these are all streams flowing from my fountain of blessing. Receive them with gratitude, not shame, for this is not the merit of humankind, but the arrangement of the Most High. I have chosen them as instruments, yet I, myself, am the source. I want you to lift your head when blessing arrives, for that blessing has been yours from the beginning. Cease to think yourself unworthy. Cease to cut yourself off from favor. I do not choose the flawless. I choose the broken, that through them my light may blaze brighter than ever. You have fallen, wept, thought you could never stand again. But in the darkest hours when you felt abandoned, I was there carrying you in my gentle arms. You did not see, for tears had blurred your eyes. Yet every time you breathed, it was my breath in you. Every time you stepped, it was I who steadied your feet. You have never been alone, even in the depths, for I stood beside you, silent, yet full of power. Do not believe the lie that it is too late, that the doors have shut. I am the one who redeems time. I can trade years stolen for a single radiant moment. When I act, everything moves. No power, no person, no door can hold me back. What you thought was failure was only preparation for something greater. When I speak, the universe listens. When I will it, every wall falls. Remember, I am never late, I am right on time. Do not look at the clock of the world. Look to my rhythm, the rhythm of grace which never errs. For when the moment comes, I will make things happen faster than you imagined. A single week in my hand can redeem a decade of human striving. Now I am setting a table of glory in the very battlefield where you bled. I prepare a feast for your soul in the presence of enemies, in front of those who mocked you, who laughed at your pain. They will witness blessing overflow in your life, and in their eyes there will be astonishment, even trembling. Those who doubted your calling will bow before the breakthrough you are about to enter. They will ask, "How did you survive it all?" And the only answer will be, "Because I carried you. I upheld you when storms beat you down. I sheltered you beneath the fiercest gale. Each time you thought you would sink, I was the rock beneath your feet. You called yourself weak, yet you were surrounded by my invisible strength. I did not allow your faith to be lost, for that faith is the cord that binds you to me. Every loss, every wound, every night of tears was not in vain. They were seeds for a new harvest, a foundation on which I will raise a work of glory in your life. Open your heart like parched earth waiting for rain, for blessing is coming not in droplets but like a downpour. The hard days will recede and make room for a season of calm. You will watch dreams you thought dead come alive, not by your might, but by my breath. And when you look back, you will know that every delay, every loss, was only the prelude to triumph. I have never forgotten you. I have only waited for the light to blaze bright enough to set you before the world. You will stand in that light, no longer trembling in the dark, but as living proof of my kindness. You will know that I never take without giving back in abundance. From ashes I bring forth flowers. From ruin I rebuild with pure gold. From despair I kindle a hope that does not fade. Those who once pitied you will see you radiant. Those who turned away will learn that no one can extinguish what I have ignited. and you once fragile will become a guiding light for other wandering souls. Walk on without looking back, for your harvest lies ahead. Each step is no longer heavy, but filled with the certainty of faith. You need not scramble for approval, for I myself have affirmed you. You need not prove your worth to the world, for I have engraved it upon my heart. Every judgment will dissolve until only grace remains. Every resistance will fall silent until only the song of victory is heard. Remember this, you have not merely survived, you have been reborn. And when you tell this story, speak not of the pain, but of the one who walked with you through it. For the grace you received is not yours to hoard, but to pour out. You will become a living witness to my mercy, so that all who hear your story will know there is still an unseen hand that lifts us when we fall still, a love unchanging amid the storm. You were chosen not because you are perfect, but because I loved you in your brokenness, and that love will never fade. When you are weak, I am strong. When you fear, I am steadfast. When you lose your way, I am the path. Therefore go in peace, for blessing is not far off. It awaits you just ahead where my light covers all. Beloved child, this moment has not come by accident, but as the fruit of long nights when you lifted your head to pray, in the dark of tears shed in silence, that heaven has recorded. This is the sacred turning of your life, where the old is fading to make room for a new chapter, bright, wondrous, and brimming with grace. The door you once knocked upon has swung open not by human force, but by the unseen hand of the one who orders all things. Above you, the windows of heaven are flung wide. Blessings pour like a cascade, washing away the dust of sorrow and cleansing the marks of the past that weighed your heart down. The weapons once raised against you, doubt, fear, despair, now lie shattered beneath the power of unchanging love. The fear that imprisoned you is being replaced by a faith as strong as dawn after the storm. Even now your name resounds in the heavenly realm, proclaimed not by human voices, but by the acknowledgement of heaven, the spring of every favor. You are not forgotten. You are remembered in grace, in the boundless kindness of the one who called you by your own name and has engraved you upon the palms of his hands. Tonight your soul will feel light, as if casting off 1,000 burdens. A deep, unspeakable peace will flood your heart, the peace that does not come from the world but from the Creator, the one who stills the wind and calms the sea. You will sense the breath of the Spirit touching every cell like a cool breeze sweeping across the desert of your weary heart. As you close your eyes to rest, my hand is still at work, clearing paths, arranging, transforming things far beyond your understanding. Every silent moment that seems empty is the very hour when miracles are woven in the unseen. My child, do not let your heart drift through this moment without perceiving it. This is a confirmation from the heights, a living proof that I am intervening. You are not foolish for believing in the great, and the impossible, for true faith often appears foolish in the eyes of the world, yet it is the road of the chosen. The world may mock your faith, but it does not know that such steadfastness moves heaven. You are not naive for standing firm, for every time you refuse to make peace with fear, you draw closer to the glory prepared for you. You have been set apart not for loneliness, but for forging in the fire of trial, so that when you emerge, you will shine like refined gold. You are anointed for this hour, for this is your appointed time. Everything before the failures, the delays, the silence that felt endless has been preparation for this present moment where you were fashioned to shine and to become a living witness to heaven's faithfulness. Tonight, in the realm of spirit, profound movements are taking place. Invisible cords that once bound your soul are being broken. Limits you thought could never be crossed are being erased. The ruts of fear and lack handed down from generation to generation end with you. You are the stopping point of every curse and the beginning of a new current, a flow of blessing, abundance, and freedom. Every pattern of failure, every loop that dragged you back to the start, is collapsing. You will no longer repeat the errors of old, for a new page has been opened, and you are walking now upon the ground of grace, not the strain of your own effort. My child, you have fallen, you have doubted, you have wanted to let go. But look back. Each wound has not weakened you. It has forged you into a seasoned warrior. I have used your pain to teach you the strength of endurance, your loneliness to teach you compassion, your lack to teach you to cherish even the smallest gift. Everything that seemed a loss has been woven into the grand design that you might be made whole. I have seen you on your knees when no one was watching. I have heard you weep in the stillness of night. And I have taken note of it all. No tear is wasted, no prayer forgotten. From those ruins I am building a temple, a new steadfast faith, a grateful heart, and a hope that does not waver. Now you stand at the crossroads of destiny and grace. Step forward with courage, for each of your steps is guided. What once were barriers will become springboards. Those who turn their backs will witness your rising. Dreams that seemed long dead are stirring again, for I have breathed new life into them. You are no longer who you were. You are a new creation, carrying the strength of heaven and wrapped in a love that does not fade. Believe this, you are not alone. All of heaven stands with you. Though the eye cannot see it, the armies of light encamp around you. I have sent my messengers ahead to open the way, to clear the obstacles, that your heart might be at rest as you advance. Nothing can hinder what I have ordained. No power can hold you when your hour has come. Receive this night as a promise fulfilled, a beginning to days of peace, in which you will learn to walk in true freedom. And my child, keep your heart soft before me. Do not let success make you distant, nor let fear draw you back. Each time you bow your head in prayer, you give me room to keep moving on your behalf. Do not seek signs in the world. Look to the change within. There lies the proof that I am at work. You have entered a season of favor in which all things bear fruit. Prepare to receive not merely material blessing, but an overflow in your spirit, in your communion with me, and in the mission entrusted to you. Do not fear the days ahead, for I have gone before you into them. Though storms arise, your heart will be still, knowing all things rest in my hand. Hold fast to your faith, for that faith is the lamp that guides your steps through the night. Let my peace beyond all understanding guard your heart and mind. Each time you choose trust over fear, you are writing a new chapter in the wondrous story of your life. You were not born to live a commonplace life. You were destined to bear witness to my wonders, that others seeing you would know that heaven still moves, and that faith is never in vain. Walk in the confidence of the chosen, for my grace is sufficient for you in every circumstance. Do not look back, for the past has no claim over you now. Look ahead to the light that awaits, where you will see promise fulfilled day by day. And when you feel faint, remember that your strength is not from yourself, but from me, the one who has never broken a promise. I am the wellspring of your life, the breath within you, the light in the night, the faithful friend who never leaves. Let your heart keep time with the rhythm of heaven, where fear dissolves and only pure love remains. My child, this night is not like other nights. It is a night of destiny, a night of rebirth and faith, of restoration and grace, of commissioning into a new calling. Therefore rest in peace, and let the Spirit complete what remains. In the morning when you awaken, everything will no longer be as it was, not because the world has changed, but because you have. In that light you will walk no longer heavy, no longer doubting, but confident, knowing that I, the one who began a good work in you, will bring it to completion in glory. My child, remember, from this day forward you are not merely a petitioner, but the chosen one who becomes living proof of my unfailing power and love. My child, still the turmoil within and incline your ear. This is not the hour to turn away or evade. This is the very moment I have set apart, the whispering interval I reserve to speak face to face with your soul. The arrows of confusion were loose to scatter your mind into 100 businesses, to weary your heart and slowly cool it toward the sacred. Yet when I resolve to speak, no contrary wind can silence the bell of heaven within you. I see you see the gentle smile you keep like a garment to cover exhaustion. See the long night when you press your hand to your chest and your breath feels stalled beneath too many weights. You have stood at the broken edge and nearly let everything slip away in quiet, afraid to trouble others, thinking your small grief unworthy to be heard. But hear me that bone-deep fatigue is not the end. The cliff that seemed a dead stop is the windowsill opening onto a new vista. I am here still not moving to the restless pace of the world, but to the heartbeat of love I inscribed in you before the ages. Do not retreat and do not condemn yourself. Only remain in the warm presence of me, and you will feel your heart beat in the gentle cadence of peace. You suppose the weights on your shoulders could crush a soul. It is true they might have shattered one who is not mine, but you are mine. Before you knew how to name hope, I knew your name, not written in fading ink, but fixed in indelible script in my book. You are not a number lost in the sea of faces. You are a clear line in the text of calling I have authored. For this reason, the pressure upon you is like the sculptor's hand upon raw stone. The ring of the hammer may startle, shards may fly, but the statue of my intention does not chip. Every burden you endure is not to pulverize, but to shape, not to snuff out, but to bring the grain of purpose to light. Breathe deep and hear me say, you are not abandoned on some half-finished worksite. I am the craftsman still at work, and your very being is the precious material I have chosen. I know those hours when you sit alone while the day outside hums and your heart feels like a room short of light. You tell yourself perhaps your name was missed on the roll of promises. Perhaps your prayer was lost in the ocean of petitions. Perhaps your voice is too small for the sky to hear. I tell you the truth. Such thoughts are only shadows, not substance, an airy echo, not the true sound. The forgetting you feel is a whisper of deceit, a mist trying to film over the eyes of faith. The reality is that I have not blinked from watching you. The courts of heaven attend your steps, and even this earth, seemingly busy and unmindful, is beginning to recognize you within my greater design. Such recognition does not bloom in a single night, yet it has already sprouted. The kind glances, the conversations that seem accidental, the doors that open a crack and close again, all are signals that the moment I appointed draws near. The enemy has tried to drown your prayer life in surplus tasks, to pack your schedule with the urgent yet hollow, stripping from you the quiet yet essential silence with me. It has tailored pessimism like a handsome cloak and urged you to wear it against the chill. It has set out discouragement like a soft chair, inviting you to sit and forget to rise. But remember this, my silence is not absence, my delay is not refusal, and the stillness I invite is in no way a void. That stillness is the inner room where I place new keys in your hand. It is the open court where I lay out to dry the damp things that have clung to your soul across many seasons. Let no noise wedge itself between us. Latch the door on your smartphone, soothe the restless self, and sit as Martha learned from Mary, choosing the better part at my feet, where living words are sown into your depths. My child, I invite you to speak what your heart has kept in quiet, not canned sentiment, not a rehearsed slogan, but the warm truth rising into words. If you are still convinced that the story of your life rests in my hand, if you believe, my pen is still writing. Though you see only a half-written mark, then let your tongue give voice, I love you. Say it like the thirsty ask for water, like the child in night's chill calling for its mother, not to remind me of you, but to comfort your own soul that it belongs to someone. When you say I love you, the walls of doubt will fissure, the shackles of inferiority will slacken, and your heart will open a way for peace to pour in like a brimming river. Say it even with tears in your eyes, for love does not need fair weather to bloom, it blossoms most richly in the rain. Imagine this. There is a surprise already appointed for you. In a place you would not expect, in a room you have never entered, a figure of authority, one I have prepared and chosen, is about to make a decision that will swing the door wide open before you. They are not coming to flatter you, nor to bestow hollow honors. They come as an instrument in my hand to activate what I sowed in you long ago. Do not shrink yourself because you feel unworthy. Do not magnify them and forget the one who orchestrates the scene. The wealth they possess is only a channel. The spring is still me. That moment is not stamped someday or next year, as you once comforted yourself. It bears the label right now on heaven's timetable. Set your soul's posture like one standing at the platform ready for the train. Fold up your doubts like an old shirt quickly put away, to be ready to cross the threshold. For when the door flies open, you must step through with the courage forged in seasons that seemed meaningless. You ask, then what should I do when the door opens? Walk forward with steadiness without pride. Remember that a calling is not a burst of fireworks that flares and dies. A calling is a lamp that always needs oil. That oil comes from communion with me, from the discipline of love, from the habit of leaning rather than self-reliance. When the invitation appears, do not turn it into a stage for the ego. Turn it into an altar of obedience. Say yes, and also learn to say no to whatever dilutes the mission. Live unhurried yet resolute, gentle yet incisive, humble yet ablaze. I will tell you when to pause and listen and when to advance and take ground. I will whisper to you, amid the noise of meetings or on late-night roads, so long as you keep a garden of silence in your inner life reserved for me. As for the slow-burning doubts, bring them into the light before me. Doubt is like fungus in a damp corner. Hide it, and it spreads. Expose it to the light, and it dries. Do not be ashamed that you have trembled. I never rebuke the one learning to stand firm. Tell me even the thoughts you fear are irreverent, for I am not wounded by questions, I heal by truth. I will remind you of the times I carried you through the fog. I will show you how scattered pieces are joining into a picture. I will train you to recognize my voice among 1,000 sounds. And as you practice, your soul will become a finely tuned radio. Turn the dial to the right frequency, and you will catch the gentle current of the kingdom. Child, change the garments of yesterday, lay aside the threadbare coat of gloom, loosen the tight scarf of self-reproach, put on the beauty of trust. Care for your body as a temple, sleep enough, eat wholesomely, move your limbs. That is not indulgence, it is obedience, for I desire to dwell in your whole person. Lift your eyes beyond the glowing screen, beyond the comparisons of the web. Read my word like a traveler thirsty at a spring, not like a pupil cramming lines. Write again the dreams you thought were old and rename them as I see them serve, build, comfort, heal. Seek companions not to soothe your vanity, but to urge you onward, and you yourself become one who lifts the weary along the way. For your calling does not end behind a private door. It blossoms in the square, in the marketplace. The light I placed within you is not to be hidden under a basket. It must be set upon a stand. I would also speak to you of pace, neither haste nor delay. The speed of the kingdom is not the timetable of the crowd. There are days I set you running, days I invite you to sit, days I ask you to wait at the pier. Each rhythm carries its own grace. When you run, I cool your lungs. When you sit, I heal your knees. When you wait, I strengthen the chords of your heart. Do not weigh your worth by the total of things completed. Weigh your heart by fidelity. Do not confuse dazzle with glory. Dazzle blinds the eyes of onlookers. Glory warms the tired. And know that in every condition my hand does not let go of yours. Now I repeat, my reassurance. You do not stand alone on the threshold of this turning. An unseen army encamps around you. Grace like a river follows close behind. The lamp of my word still leads ahead. You thought you must maneuver to be noticed, but I have already lifted other eyes toward you. You thought you must knock until your hand went numb, but I have sent the one with the key to draw near. You thought perhaps next year, perhaps someday, but I say the time is ripe this very moment. Rise, wipe the sweat from your brow, let a smile come unforced. Let your heart run before your feet, and tell me what it has long believed but dared not speak. And when you breathe I love you in the private language of your soul with the breath of gratitude, with eyes unafraid, you will see the heavens stoop low, the earth swing its gates wide, and the person I have prepared step into the scene as if on cue to join you in opening a new chapter. My child, continue in this alertness, ears open to hear, eyes open to see, hands open to receive, and a heart open to give. Keep my word in your chest like an ember. Tend it daily with the oil of prayer, the oil of the word, the oil of community. When contrary winds rise, do not panic. If you shield the flame with obedient hands, the wind will only make it burn higher. When the invitation arrives earlier than you planned, do not retreat into defense. Step out with the bearing of one who knows they are sent. When praise pours in, do not grow drunk on it. Roll your shoulders back and place every bouquet upon the altar of thanksgiving. And when sudden challenges pound down, do not rush to name them disasters. That wall may be a threshold in disguise. I will teach you to read the signs, reset the compass when it strays, and whisper the password that unlocks the door when you stand before your appointed gate. Believe what I am saying, a fresh page is ready. My ink does not fade. And in the story I write, none of the chapters are forgotten. Do not turn your face away. Do not shut your ears. Do not trust the shadow of loneliness. The truth is that I know you better than you know yourself, loved you, before you learned to love, chose you, though you have often disqualified yourself. Therefore, when the world hurries, choose the slow cadence with me. When the crowd clamors, choose the honest whisper. When night falls, let your heart speak its love to me, as though breathing for the first time. Now, yes, now the door will swing open, that powerful hand will extend, and you will recognize that none of this is chance, but the merciful arranging of the one who has written your name in his book with ink no force can erase. And when you cross over, remember to look back with a smile, not to despise yesterday, but to thank it for training you, to be strong enough, gentle enough, and clear enough to carry my glory wherever you go. My child, keep moving. I am here. I speak. I act, and I will finish what I have begun. They are not merely generous souls with a readiness to give. They are ones I have formally appointed within my holy design. They carry in their hands a blessing that is not their own, a gift I placed in their palms with a clear directive. Place this in the hands of my child. When they come to you, when they offer help, when they lift you as weariness bends your back, do not call it coincidence. That help is the outcome of a covenant sealed in heaven before you even knew you would need it. Nothing is accidental in my plan. Every connection lies within the blueprint already engraved. If you sense this arrangement deep within, let your faith speak and confess aloud, I trust the Lord. In that very confession, you not only declare faith, you also fling wide the door for my power to work without limit in your life. My hand is quietly guiding each step you take, every meeting you keep, every door you open. No appointment is with the wrong person, no event is without meaning. All of it serves what I am building in you. And do not forget Michael. My mighty archangel stands guard by your side day and night without leaving his post. His tears are not of sorrow but of urgency and intercession. He knows what forces seek to steal your destiny, knows how many times you nearly let go of what I am preparing to give, knows how tired you have been until you thought I had fallen silent. But he also knows what you sometimes forget, that a small act of faith, a single, "Yes, Lord, I believe," spoken from a true heart, moves the heavens at once. That yes is no sound lost in the air. It is the ignition of a new shift, the turn of a key in the lock, opening what you have long prayed for. Right now, as you read these lines, know that in the stillness around you, my angels are present. They are not merely observing or taking notes. They are at work with power. They are tearing down structures the enemy raised in the dark to hinder you. They are uprooting schemes, lies, and people I never sent who appointed themselves as my messengers. They are sweeping away the dust of disguised things dressed as opportunity that are in truth a snare. You need not strain to guess who is right and who is wrong. I am purifying what surrounds you and preserving only what belongs to the light. You have often prayed for my direction, and here is the answer you sought. You have cried out for clarity in a maze of dim paths, and this is the clear moment. You have longed for a sign that you are on the true way, and now the sign lies before your eyes. Not in a hazy dream, not in thunder and lightning, but in this very word I send to your soul. If your heart recognizes it, affirm it with an act of faith. Write, speak, whisper, 999, as a pledge that you receive. My word not by the head, but by the Spirit. For I am bringing you through a great transition from being endured to being honored, from scraping up crumbs to live to a life that flows like an unfailing stream. You have grown accustomed to getting by to merely enough, but I did not create you to live so narrowly. I long to see you enter the realm of abundance, where there is not only material plenty, but peace, freedom, and light in full measure. And remember, this turning point is not built on your relentless labor, nor on your calculations or diligence, but is decided by the depth of the trust you place in me. Faith is not measured by how many prayers you say, but by an absolute surrender amid what you cannot yet see. When you dare to believe in adversity, when you stand your ground with nothing left to hold, that is when heaven moves. I honor faith. I reward obedience. I raise up those who yield. Not because I need them to kneel to prove anything, but because in yielding they become free. When you hand me the reins, you do not lose your freedom, you find it. When you stop resisting, you begin to soar. When you cease striving to understand everything, then I can work wonders. You do not know how many battles have been won on your behalf, how many schemes have been strangled in silence, how many curses have been broken because of a single yes you once spoke. And today, as you read this, I want you to know that heaven is open. I am pressing you forward, cutting you loose from stagnation to step into promise. What you lost was not failure, but a refining. Those who left did not do so by chance, but as protection. The doors that closed were not rejection, but guidance. Do not fear when I move you out of the familiar. If you remain where you were, new blessing cannot be poured out. Do not be unsettled when I make you pause. At times, silence itself is a strategy. Michael and the hosts of heaven stand at your threshold, swords drawn, not allowing darkness another step. What you have not seen, they have seen. What dangers you do not yet know, they have already turned aside. And while you think you are only reading a passage of words, the heavens are truly shifting around you. Let your soul open and receive this new wind. For this is not a vague promise, but a herald of a true season of change. I will lift you up, not that you may boast, but that all may see faithfulness is still rewarded, faith still has a voice, and obedience still makes a way for miracles. From today you will notice small signs of change, an invitation, a message, a spark of an idea, a door you never expected to open. Each sign is evidence that I am doing what I promised. You need not force nor hurry. Simply keep walking with steady trust. People may toil without ceasing and never arrive, but the one who trusts in me needs only a single step in the right direction to surpass years of waiting. Therefore, my child, do not fear to believe once more. Do not hesitate to say yes again. I am writing the next chapter of your story, and this time it begins with total surrender. Believe, speak, and live as though the promise were already fulfilled. For when faith meets action, miracles cease to be distant. They become the breath of each day. You asked for a sign. This is your sign. Receive it, believe it, and let me do the rest. Never confuse delay with refusal, my child. At times, what you call postponement is careful preparation for a miracle taking shape that you do not yet see. It does not mean it is not unfolding in the unseen. What I have for you is neither deferred nor withdrawn. It is prepared and waiting for the right moment, the true cadence of destiny, and now that moment has come. The time you waited and prayed for, the time you sometimes thought would never come, has entered reality. This is your moment where heaven and earth meet, where I bring to life what once seemed lost. I am breathing a fresh wind over your finances. The river of blessing is opening, and what was frozen will begin to move. Contracts once ignored and left to gather dust on the desks of the powerful are being brought forward for review. The very hands that once overlooked your name will now seek you out. Debts that seemed destined to weigh on you for years will be cleared in a matter of days. The burdens and figures that stole your sleep are about to become testimony to my intervention. And beyond this, those who owed you money, apologies, justice will return. They will make amends not by compulsion, but because my righteous hand constrains them to do what is right. I will not let you enter the new season empty-handed. I place abundance in your hands, not for pride or display, but for strength. This wealth is more than material. It is power to shatter the chains of lack, to lift others, to restore dignity to your household. You will no longer live with just enough, for I am not the God of barely enough. I am the God of more than enough, the one who makes the cup overflow, keeps the jar of oil from running dry, and opens doors no one can shut. I have seen how steadfastly you have held to the promise through years and doubts and tears and days without light, and now that very promise is reaching for you. You will no longer chase favor. Favor is running toward you. You are about to see fruit spring up where you once sowed in tears. The seed of your faithfulness has cracked open. You will watch doors swing wide of their own accord, needing no explanation beyond logic, for grace does not obey human reason. Grace follows obedience. You did not arrive here by accident. Every step has been ordered. When you thought you were only dragging yourself forward in solitude, I was carrying you. When you could not feel me, I was there. When you doubted, I remained steadfast. When you turned away, I never took my eyes off you. And now I am restoring what you thought was gone. I am redeeming time, the very thing you believed could never be returned. I am renewing your strength, teaching weary feet to run again. I am bringing truth to light so that every lie raised against you dissolves. I am unveiling blessing, no more chaos, no more hesitation, no more fear. All I have spoken remains precisely on schedule, neither early nor late, exact, perfect, and right on time. My beloved child, you are about to step into rooms where your name has long been whispered. There are places your feet have not yet stood where your name already resounds. Great doors are opening not because you knocked, but because heaven commanded them to open. The blessings ahead will exceed what you asked. You will be astonished at the sudden abundance, but remember, this is right. This is your portion. Opportunity will come in waves, not to test you, but to confirm that you are ready. And you will recognize this breakthrough not by the noise around you, but by the deep peace within you. That peace is my seal. Do not shrink back when the blessing arrives. Do not apologize for the abundance I am giving. You were born for this. You were forged in fire, the fire of trial, of faith, of long nights that seemed hopeless. That very fire has refined gold, and now you shine like pure gold. You were hidden for a time like a seed resting in the earth to be nourished and to mature in silence. And now I am revealing you to the world. You have been proved, and now you are entrusted. The doors opening this time will not require your push. I have opened them. You will not need to fight to obtain. I have placed it in your hands. This time you simply receive. Receive not with pride, but with gratitude. Receive not to keep for yourself, but to share, to pour out, to make my name radiant in the earth. And mark this deeply. My child, every delay is my alignment. What seemed off course has in truth been guiding you to the very destination. When you learn to trust in the silence, you will see that I never ceased working. I have prepared everything, people, opportunities, timing, so that when the wind of grace begins to blow, all things move at once. This is the greatest season of change in your life. I am calling you out of the comfort zone, out of fear, out of limitation. You were born to witness miracles not only in words but in the very fabric of your life. Stand firm, beloved. Open your heart to receive. Do not doubt the blessing. Do not fear. It is too great for you, for I, the giver, am able to keep you steady in abundance. This is your hour. This is your season. This is the time when all I have promised is becoming real in your breath, in your work, in each step you take. And you will receive not only provision but also momentum, propelled into a new cadence where the miraculous becomes the rhythm of every day. Be ready, my child, for this time you will not have to strive to obtain it. This time you need only stretch out your hand and receive. And when you receive, you will know that every delay, every tear, every long night was worth it. For now you are living in the moment I promised, the moment of glory, of grace, and of full restoration. My child, draw a deep breath, for what I am about to pour into your life will make even you wonder whether it can be real. Know that it is real to every heartbeat, every breath, every step you take. Heaven has never been silent about you. Every word you uttered in solitude, every tear dropped in the night has echoed to my throne. I do not ignore your prayers, nor forget the times you knelt amid pain. At the very moment you thought it was too late, I had already prepared the answer in ways you could neither predict nor imagine. This very moment, as you read these words, is the proof that I still hear, still see, still remain with you. You are not standing on ordinary ground. You stand on holy ground, not because the place is special, but because the Almighty is present with you. If I am with you, who can stand against you? No power can subdue a soul I have chosen. No curse can bind one who bears the seal of heaven. Every scheme, every apparent delay that seemed to destroy your dream is but a tool in my hand to fulfill the time I have appointed. Declare it boldly. I believe, if your heart knows, my timing is never wrong. I have seen you faithful in hidden days. When none were watching, you served. When none understood, you prayed. When none acknowledged, you gave, you offered, you loved. While others demanded light to walk, you chose to walk by faith through the dark. You did not know that every drop of sweat, every act of perseverance has been recorded by me in the book of life, and now the harvest has come. This is not a favor begged, but a reward reaped. This is the hour of holy justice, when the tears you sowed into the soil of faith burst forth into a river of blessing. All you once lost, every pain you endured, is now answered by the fullness I am about to pour out. My child, people may overlook your labor, but I do not. They may not see how you have built in quiet, but I have witnessed every seed you have sown in sacrifice. And now those seeds are breaking ground, ready for harvest. Your harvest is not the product of luck, but the fruit of faithfulness. The field you plowed in solitude is now being watered by the rain of grace. You ask me, when will it be my turn? And now I say, now is that time. This is no longer a dream. This is reality. I have appointed the season, and when I decree, no one can delay it. The wealthy ones I have appointed, yes, appointed by my own hand, have been standing at the edge of your life. They did not appear by chance. Long ago I planted within them something like a summons they could not yet name. They have watched you quietly without fanfare. They have seen you labor when the pay was not just remain steadfast, where others gave up carry in yourself what money cannot purchase the light, and now I am sweeping away their hesitation. I am placing in their hearts a certainty so strong they cannot sit still. They will move, they will help, they will open doors the world assumed were sealed forever. You will be astonished to find hands that never knew your name now extended to lift you. Do not call it coincidence, for nothing in my design is accidental. I have set you on a path only a steady soul can travel to the end. At times you thought you were lost, yet in truth you were walking straight. At times you thought it was over, yet it was only the prelude to the new chapter I am writing. The bends, the delays, the dreams that seem to wither, all of them are movements in the symphony of destiny I composed for you alone. When I open, no one can shut. When I give, no force can hinder. And now you are about to step into a land of blessing you once scarcely dared to imagine. Remember this: I did not choose you because you are flawless. I chose you because you are faithful. When you kept praying with a broken heart, kept loving, though betrayed, kept believing, when no light was in sight, that is when you stirred heaven. You became the victory song I want the world to hear. You stand as living proof that faith overcomes every contrary wind. And now, as harvest arrives, do not fear. Receive it with gratitude, not suspicion. Do not let guilt or your past block what I give. You have paid in tears and time and trust, and now is the hour I pour out blessing. You will see those who left you return, not to apologize, but to witness my glory in your life. Doors once shut will swing open with ease, and you will know nothing you have done was in vain. I have seen it all. I have counted every step, and now I am granting reward beyond your expectation. You need not chase opportunity. Opportunity will seek you. I am sending to you those I have prepared, resourced, authorized, tender of heart. They were born to help you enter this new season. Therefore, do not fear change. Open wide your heart, for the old season has closed. The season of waiting, of silence, of trial has completed its work. Now comes the season of movement, of restoration, of the unimaginable made real. You will find yourself standing where you never dared to step, speaking what you never dared to say, doing what once seemed beyond you. This is not your strength achieving it. This is me working through you. I want you to know that what is coming is no small recompense. This is the moment I honor you before people, not to inflate your pride, but that the world may know I am faithful to the faithful. When they ask how everything turned so swiftly, tell them, because I believed. Yes, declare it. Say it aloud. Let heaven and earth hear I believe. For that confession will swing wide the doors for me to complete my work in your life. And when you say, I believe, heaven moves, angels are dispatched, obstacles are removed. You will see miracles not in imagination but in daylight. Employment opens relationships. Mend provision is released. Your soul is renewed. For I am the one who never forgets a promise, and you, yes, you are standing in the time of fulfillment. This is not mere comfort, it is the seal that you are entering an era of glory. Child, stand straight and lift your head, for your harvest has come. Breathe deeply and let your soul be soaked in my presence. Do not look back, for the past is only seed for today's glory. Do not fear the future, for I am already there. Live this moment fully, for it is the proof that I still hear you, still see you, still love you, without limit. I have called you into fullness, and now that very fullness is rushing toward you like a river nothing can restrain. It does not arrive with clamor or showy wonders, but through the smallest details of your days: an unexpected email, an invitation that seems ordinary, a call that lands at the ordained hour, and all of it will knit into a vast tapestry until you can only exclaim, that was his hand. You will no longer need to hunt for signs, for when it comes, your spirit will recognize my presence in every breath, in the very movement of time. Peace will settle before the miracle appears. Clarity will precede the answer, and within you there will be a stillness, strange and sweet. A peace not of your making, but poured from heaven. Even the chaos you feel now is not random. It is the trembling of the earth before the seed splits and rises. Do not fear the shaking, for it makes a way for glory to be born. Let it all quiver. Let the space expand, for the pressure does not come to crush you, but to bring forth splendor. I am turning every weight into a lever to lift you, harnessing the storm to clear a path for a light brighter than ever. The glory of God upon your life is taking shape, undeniable, unassailable. You will no longer argue to make others believe what I am doing in you. You need not defend yourself, for when harvest arrives, fruit itself will speak. Favor will become the advocate of your name, and the outcome will silence every whisper. Those who doubted will stand mute before what I have finished. You will not revisit the past in dread, for I have made all things new, not only the circumstances but the very substance of who you are. I am touching the deepest places of your soul where wounds have slept and memories have bowed your head in shame. I am lifting off the garment of disgrace you have worn too long, erasing every trace of regret. I am gathering the scattered pieces, restoring what was forgotten. I wash pain with love, dry tears with the breath of faith. I lay my hand upon your chest and breathe new life into hope once withered. You are no longer defined by what you endured. The past is no chain. It is a stage for grace displayed. You are what I declare you to be, and my word never returns empty. When I call you healed, it is accomplished in the realm of spirit. When I say you are whole, every fracture begins to knit. When I proclaim you restored, every loss in your life starts to be repaid. And when I name you favored, all heaven moves to see it fulfilled. Know that grace does not merely touch the visible parts of your life. It seeps into the secret places you thought no light could enter. I am transforming how you see yourself, so you no longer view yourself as the abandoned but as the chosen. I do not behold you through the lens of failure. I see you through the potential of glory. Every scar you carry is evidence that you fought, and now those very scars will testify to the miracle of resurrection. I am rewriting your story with the ink of hope and light. Pages once torn are being replaced with promises. Paragraphs once stained by despair now blaze with favor. I do not only repair, I recreate. I do not merely repay, I renew. For when I act, things do not revert to what they were, they become far better. What you thought was lost was only moved aside to make room for what is whole. Soon you will know that not one of your tears was wasted, not one sigh was meaningless. When I say you are healed, it is not only a pledge, but a reality unfolding in this very moment. The energy of grace is flowing through you, like a pure river rinsing pain, cleansing memory, awakening buried potential. Breathe deep and receive the fresh air of change. With every heartbeat, you will find me there, not distant or severe, but near and gentle, like a father holding the child who has found the way home. Do not fear as things around you begin to change, for this is the sign that my word is at work. One door closes that another may open. The old self fades that the new may arise. You will feel yourself grow lighter, freer, for invisible chains have fallen away. Fullness is not merely material. It is the wholeness of the soul, a joy unmoored from circumstance, a peace unshaken by storm. Lift up your eyes, for glory draws near. You are about to see my fingerprints on every field of your life: work, relationships, health, sleep, even the moments that seem ordinary. Everything will bear the hue of the miraculous. For once, my hand rests upon it, nothing remains common. Each step you take will be guided, each choice illumined. And when you stand before the mirror, you will no longer see the wounded, but a soul restored. Your eyes will shine, your heart will be light, your voice will ring with trust. You will not need to pretend to be strong, for true strength has returned. You will not strain to believe, for faith will be as natural as breath. Mark this upon your heart: you are not your past, not the sum of injuries, not bound by opinions. You are my creation, beloved, chosen, shielded, and entrusted with a high calling. When I declare you favored, it does not mean only that you receive blessing, but that you carry blessing to others. From you grace will spread like fragrance, and all who touch your life will sense my love. And then as you walk in that light, the world will know you are mine. Regret will melt like morning mist beneath the sun. Shame will be clothed in new dignity. You will laugh without fear of loss, love without fear of wound, live without fear of tomorrow, for you have been reborn in grace. Believe this: you are not merely being changed, you are being made new, not into a better version of yourself, but into the person I have always destined you to become. When this is complete, all of heaven will rejoice, for a soul has returned to its source of light. And when you look around, you will know everything I have spoken has come to pass. The sum you need has departed from the storehouse of my blessing, overcoming barriers, crossing the limits of the human, and is moving toward you like a river that cannot be stopped. The one whose heart I have stirred, the one into whom I have sown the seed of compassion and obedience, is about to reach out to you. They will come unexpectedly, as naturally as breath. But in that moment you will know at once, with no one to tell you, and without visible proof, that it is I. You will sense it in the depths of your soul. A strange holy peace will rest upon your mind, and favor will begin to flood your life like a river in spate, unhindered, unblocked. For my beloved child, you have passed through your season of testing. The days you endured, which seemed meaningless, were in truth the hours of training for your soul. Seasons of loss were not punishment, but the training grounds where you learned to stand. Every tear, every midnight prayer, every collapse became a lesson in strength and perseverance. I did not abandon you in the silent days. I was teaching you to hear my voice within the space between. It is in those days, when the noise of the world grows still, that you can catch the gentleness of my cadence and understand that silence is not absence, but the school of faith. The battles you once hid were not wasted. Each wound has forged you into a warrior who loves, who understands, and who sees the world through the eyes of kindness. Now a new page is turning, and your story is entering a more glorious chapter. Every line once written in sorrow will be rewritten in the ink of grace. The glory that is coming will not merely soothe old pains. It will honor the very journey you have walked. What lies ahead will exceed what you have lost. You will see me no longer as a distant shadow in prayer, but as a living reality in every facet of your life, in your bank account, where material blessing will testify that I am your provider. In your family, where harmony will replace strife, and love will bloom like flowers after rain. In your mind, where peace will descend like morning dew, and wash away all worry. In your body, where I am renewing every cell, and healing the fatigue that lies deep, and in your surroundings, where I make the very atmosphere around you holy, bright, and alive. I am not merely sending blessings to you. I, myself, am the blessing. Where I am present, blessing inevitably follows. I do not bring a little luck. I bring my very self, the source of every good thing, the source of life, the fountain of all grace. Where I am, lack cannot dwell. Where I reign, anxiety dissipates like smoke before the wind. Where my name is lifted high, miracles fall like rain upon parched ground. You will see small things around you change, doors once shut swing open, and paths once dim blaze with guiding light. I am walking through your house. Every room, every hidden corner is filled with my breath. I am wrapping my arms around your mind, quieting the unspoken cries you've carried within. I am restoring the peace that is rightfully yours, which you dropped amid days of panic. I am touching the wounds you conceal, the fractures no one can see, and I am healing them with my love, a love without condition, without demand, without change. You think I am silent, but I am listening. You suspect I have forgotten your prayers, but every sigh has been recorded by me. I have never forgotten you, not for a single moment. I have waited for the right time, when you are mature enough to value the gift, tender enough to feel grace, and open enough to receive the great things I am about to place in your hands. And that moment, my beloved, is now. Now is the hour when my wind begins to blow, the moment when you will witness wonders unfold. You will no longer have to strive in your own strength, for the blessing is seeking you. Doors long closed will open of themselves. Those who turned away will turn back. Dreams once shattered will be rebuilt by my own hands. You will watch as all things in your life begin to align like scattered pieces suddenly fitting into a perfect picture. Do not doubt when the blessing arrives, for you are worthy to receive it, not by merit but by my boundless love. Do not fear when change comes swiftly, for it is I who am at work. Let your heart be still. Let faith lead the way. For when I speak, nothing can reverse it. When I choose, none can steal it. When I act, no power can hinder me. This moment is not a distant promise, but a present reality unfolding. Light has appeared at the end of the road, and you are stepping into your harvest. Everything you have awaited is moving toward you. Prayers you thought forgotten are being answered in my quiet. I am finishing what I began in your life, and no one can alter that. Therefore, lift up your head, my child, and behold what I am doing. Do not gaze back, for it is finished. Do not fear the future, for I go before you. Abide in this very moment where I am present, where grace overflows, where love blossoms. This is your time, your season of blessing, the proof that my promise is never late and never wrong. And when you exclaim, Lord, how good you are to me, I will smile and say, I never forgot you. I was waiting for the right moment, and that moment is now. My beloved, what I am about to do in your life is not a quiet repayment hidden in private tears. It is a public display of power, a triumphal anthem the world will witness. The years you were faithful in solitude, the long nights you chose trust over complaint, these are crystallizing into a public harvest. I will make it known that I never left you. I have been with you, guarding, upholding, and acting even when you felt adrift. Now I will lift you, not only in secret, but set you in the light so that all may see and know that my grace is at work. You will no longer chase opportunity like one grasping at shadows, for opportunity will seek you as iron flies to a magnet. Doors others knock upon until their knuckles are raw. I will open before you without strain. You will not need to scramble for a place or prove yourself, for my light upon you will reveal your true worth. Do not fear the future, for what comes next is not peril but glory. Glory will restore what you thought lost. Glory will accelerate what once dragged on, and glory's financial favor will flow through your home like an unfailing stream. Yet it is not merely wealth, it is riches free of sorrow, a provision that carries peace. What I give is never tied to worry or burden. Every blessing I bestow is wrapped in the lightness of heaven. When I supply, your heart will rest. When I add, you will feel joy rather than fear. And when I open, my treasury ambition will not rule you. You will be flooded with gratitude. What I am sending into your house will make you laugh, not with worldly surprise, but with holy joy, the joy that knows I am doing great things. Your storehouse, once barren, will overflow. Your accounts, once strained, will rise like waves upon waves. Not by human schemes, but because heaven's blessing is being poured out. Your voice, once muted by hurt or doubt, will ring with authority again, for I have placed upon your tongue the speech of the anointed. When you speak, others will listen, for your words will carry the life and clarity I have given. Your home, once shadowed by worry and gloom, will be drenched in peace. Conversations within your walls will be filled with laughter rather than sighs. Your steps will carry peace instead of the weight of fear. Child, this is not empty promise, not mere emotional uplift. This is heaven's reality touching earth, the fulfillment spoken by the faithful one. You are entering the realm of answered prayers, no longer waiting in vain, but watching each miracle take shape. You have sown in tears, and now you reap in laughter. Each tear has watered the soil of your faith, and hope has sprouted. I have not finished with you, my child, I have only begun. What you see today is only the beginning of a long procession of blessings. Restoration will reach into every corner of your life, work, family, health, relationships, and spirit. All that seemed stolen I will return, not merely double, but many times over, for I am the one who never repays with less than what was lost. I do not only restore, I exalt. I do not only replace, I multiply. Look around you. Where desolation once lay, life will rise. Where silence reigned, songs will be heard. I am rebuilding the walls, adorning the foundations, and making the stones once rejected the cornerstone. And you, my child, are that stone. I saw your worth when no one else did. I chose you when the world refused you. And now I will publicly prove that my choice was never in error. You suffered much, not because you were forsaken, but because I was preparing you to receive what is greater. You were misunderstood, not because you were weak, but because I was teaching you to remain humble beneath the light. Now I will compel others to acknowledge you, not because you speak for yourself, but because my works through you will speak on their own. Every project, every word, every deed you undertake, under the Spirit's guidance, will carry the fragrance of heaven. What I am arranging will happen swiftly like wind over the meadow. A season of acceleration is at hand. What you awaited for years will be fulfilled in a short time. Opportunity will knock again and again as if to repay the years of delay. You will stand at the crossroads of blessing where every path leads to success, for I have gone ahead to clear the way. You need not worry about supply, for your source is no longer the world but the treasury of heaven. Yet, my child, when the blessing comes, keep your heart simple. Remember that all you have is a testimony to my love. Let blessing not lift you into pride, but bend you into gratitude. Let abundance not draw you away from me, but drive you nearer, for you will learn to gain the whole world without my presence. Leaves the heart empty. I am bringing you into a new season, one of overflow and impact. You will not only receive, you will be sent to give. You will be a river, not a reservoir. What flows through you will spread and touch many lives. As you share, the blessing will increase. As you give, your barns will fill. As you speak, words that lift your authority will be established. Prepare yourself, for the laughter that rises from you will not be a momentary joy, but the laughter of one who has witnessed the faithfulness of heaven. You will tell the next generation, I once waited, but not in vain. I believed, and now I see. People will look at you and say, surely there is something sacred upon this life, for my light will shine on you. My child, continue in humility, for within humility grace abounds. I will bring you to tables you once never dared imagine. I will seat you among those who once overlooked you, and this time they will listen, not because you changed to please them, but because my glory rests upon you. Now rest, for my plan for you can no longer be delayed. The wheels are turning, and you stand at the center of a miracle. Every sincere prayer, every act of love, every step of faith is gathering into a wave of blessing that is drawing near. Only believe and step forward. I will attend to the rest. For I am the promise keeper, and I am completing what I have spoken. Do not fear, do not doubt, do not think this too good to be true. For with me nothing is impossible. You will see, you will taste, you will live in the current of grace as never before. This is not a dream, my child, this is heaven revealed in your life. And I say to you, I am not finished, I have only begun. Now, my beloved child, open your heart, breathe deep, and lift your prayer to me. not with lips alone, but with your whole heart, with your very breath, with the faith I have planted within you. Lord, I bow before your majesty and boundless love. I know that nothing in my life is random, but each step unfolds within your good plan. When I lose my way among 1,000 crossroads, take my hand and lead me along the path you have prepared. Teach me to trust without conditions, though my eyes have not seen and my ears have not heard. Teach me to discern your voice amid the noise of life, that I may not misstep with the blessing that approaches. I know that every person you send into my life carries a mission. Help me recognize them and welcome them with gratitude. Lord, I trust in you. Lord, you see the fears within me, the times I have doubted, the moments when I felt too weak to stand. Yet I know that when I fall, it is your hand that lifts me. Teach me to stop trying to control everything and to let you steer the course of my life. Help me to say, yes, Lord, I believe, even before I see the result. For faith does not demand proof. Faith is trusting you in the fog. I surrender all that I do not understand, all that is uncertain and unsettled into your hands. Turn my worry into peace, my waiting into strength, and my weakness into a witness of your faithfulness. I thank you for keeping me when I did not know I was being kept. I thank you for the watch of Michael, for the battles I never saw that you won on my behalf. I am grateful that every tear became a drop of rain, watering the soil of my faith. Without you, I am but dust. With you, I am a chosen child bearing light. Thank you that you give not only blessings, but your very self. Thank you that among multitudes, you chose me to hear, to believe, to obey. Thank you that you are turning every moment of my life into a testimony of your faithfulness. Let my gratitude be more than words. Let it be the way I live each day, living in love, walking in humility, living for you. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.